TA4 Makes Me Sad. Today's video is going to be highly similar to my What's Wrong With series that I've been doing recently for AUT. So if you've seen any of those videos, then you'll know the general layout of this one, but it will be a little bit different because I won't entirely be talking about just the stand, but I'll also be talking about some of the things people do when they're using it that just, well, it's lost on me. But anyways, if you haven't seen any of those videos, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the stand almost like a stand review and talking about the problems that it has. And honestly, let's be real here. What better place to start than nail shots? Nail shots is a dumpster fire. This move is barely functional. I would say roughly 60 to 70% of the time it doesn't work properly. And that's not a good track record. Whether the nails freeze in midair, vanish completely, or go off to the moon, you never know. Nail shots seems like it's supposed to be a long-range move, but if you use it at long range, it's going to work even less. At this point, it's basically turned into win an M1 trade battle rather than an actual projectile. The sad part is that I think they tried to fix this. I'm pretty sure there was a thing in the patch notes a little while back that said attempted to fix nails getting stuck midair. Yeah, that's a load of crap because nothing changed, or at least it doesn't feel like anything changed. What it does give me hope for, though, is that maybe they'll try to fix it again. Because if they did attempt to fix it once, then odds are they'll try to fix it twice. Or at least that's my thought process for it. At the very least, I'm hoping they don't give up. Because right now, your regular nails, well, they just don't work. Next up on the holy crap, how is it that bad? And I have to eat my words from my TA4 re-review from a while back. Wormhole Uppercut is not a good move. Not even a little bit. In fact, it's still horrendous. Wormhole Uppercut kind of boggles my mind because there's a move that's almost exactly like this that's actually good. And that move is Cream's Void Surprise. Cream's Void Surprise is great because you dodge it by running out of the way of it or dashing out of the way of it, and if you don't do those things, then you're gonna get hit. Creams obviously would always be better because once someone loses a leg, it's a whole lot harder to deal with. But TA4's, well, it just sucks because it's blockable on top of being able to be avoided the same way you can avoid Cream's moves. Wormhole Uppercut is honestly quite an easy fix. Just make it unblockable, and since it doesn't take a limb like Cream's, and everything TA4 has already gets canceled, maybe make it uncancelable to boot. And there you go, it's good now. But that's not gonna happen. Wormhole Uppercut is horrendous. Not only does it not really do that much damage, but the move is incredibly telegraphed and is the easiest block in the entire game. And all that really changed is that you can't perfect block it anymore. And so instead of getting a perfect block punish, now you just get a block punish. So you still get a punish. Basically, if you use the move, you're gonna get hit for using the move almost every single time. And even if you land the move, you get just about nothing off of it. So why it exists? Well, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I hope one day they decide to just yoink the move and replace it with something more usable. Because the current Wormhole Uppercut is worthless and has just about zero place in the game whatsoever. Next up on the chopping block, and something that I've talked about plenty of times before, and it's the Wormhole Nails. Yeah, the most consistent one in the game, and it's still not very good. And if anything, it feels like it got less consistent recently, but I don't really know why that is. As of late, it seems like sometimes my Wormhole Nails just vanish into thin air or don't hit their target, and why this happens out in the open, I got nothing. I don't know. What I do know is that in the past, and to this day, if you hit someone with Wormhole Nails and the wormhole that fires the nail appears in some sort of object or is occluded by an object, it won't hit them. So in other words, if someone stands right next to a wall and you use Wormhole Nails, there's a good chance they won't get hit by any of them. Now, why these Wormhole Nails can't just go through objects and hit people so that the move is actually consistent, I have no idea. Maybe they forgot about it, maybe they don't know, who knows? This stand basically flies under the radar. I never see them anywhere, which is something that we'll talk about later. But the takeaway here is Wormhole Nails, despite being a pretty good move, has a decent chunk of problems that if fixed would make the stand a whole lot easier and more fun to play. Last but not least, and of course we've gotta talk about it, and it's the friggin' Beatdown, dude. This thing, oh my god, it's so long. It's absurdly loud, it's far too long, and it doesn't do very much damage. The damage part, not super relevant. Honestly, the damage on the Beatdown is perfectly fine. The main problem is the volume and the length. Why is it so loud? Why is it so long? I don't know. Speaking on volume though, how the hell did Star Platinum the World's Beatdown get most of its volume issues fixed, and then the punching is way too loud? I know, wrong video, but what is going on over there? How the hell is the punching noise so loud on that thing? You can hear it from like across the map. Whatever, we're talking about Tusk 4, not Star Platinum the World. Tusk 4's Beatdown, to put it bluntly, is lame. I've said it before in YBA's Beatdowns are lame, and I'll say it here again. And I don't know the odds of it getting reworked anytime soon, but I can cross my fingers and hope. That's about all I can do most of the time. With that, we move over to the question of why do I never see Tusk 4? And I think I've almost answered my own question here, but a lot of it comes down to the stand not really functioning the way it should. And I think if it did, not only would people be more inclined to use it, but I think I would personally have a lot more fun with it. I already have a soft spot for Tusk 4. It's one of my favorite stands to use in the entire game, which might come as a surprise because usually I'm getting in people's faces and using close range stuff. But Tusk 4 to me is a lot of fun. And if they just ironed out some of the issues, I think it would be a lot better. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Tusk 4 right now is in this weird limbo spot. It's not quite good enough to be meta and gets hard countered by King Crimson and King Crimson Requiem, but it is better than a lot of the trashy stands. So it falls into that perfect spot where people won't use it for a meme because it's not bad enough, but they also won't use it to try to win because it's not as good as the meta and gets hard countered by some of the meta stands. And that spot is probably the worst area to be in the entire game, which is a shame because it makes it, well, just about nowhere. But you know what? For you aspiring Tusk 4 players, I feel like everyone I see playing Tusk 4 is a trash can. And yeah, I know that's mean, but like, how often do you see a Tusk 4 that has any idea what they're doing? If your answer is more than maybe 3 maximum, I don't know if I believe you. But regardless, I'm gonna give you Eclipse's Crash Course Guide to Tusk 4. I'll keep it short, I'll keep it sweet, and I'll keep it simple. First of all, Nail Glide is probably one of your best moves, and it's hands down the least utilized by Tusk 4 players from what I've seen. Most Tusk 4s limit Nail Glide to just, I run away from thing. And that's the last thing that you really should be using Nail Glide for. Thing is, you can use moves while in Nail Glide, and that includes stuff like Wormhole Nails, which you don't need to aim. Wormhole Nails, if you hit people with them, can confirm into a variety of moves, and it also forces your opponent to block. Against bad players, Wormhole Nails is incredibly good, and Wormhole Nails with Nail Glide is even better, since you can confirm eye gouges, beatdowns, you name it. Against better players though, they're gonna block, and once you start figuring out they're gonna block, you can use your Wormhole Nails, and because of the low end lag, you can go in for a jawbreaker, and then if they don't let their guard down, they'll get block broken, and you can do whatever the hell you want. In general, Nail Glide is just really good, and whenever it's off cooldown, it's basically free damage. So use it, please. Next up, and I know this should go without saying, but for God's sakes, don't get Wormhole Uppercut. Just don't buy it at all. It's a waste of 4 skill points and it's horrendous. Don't get it, do yourself a favor. Next up, do get Tea Time. Please get Tea Time and completely ignore that moron from a few months back in that Tusk 4 re-review that said Tea Time still isn't very good. Oh my god, he's an idiot, don't listen to him. Tea Time is a really, really good heal. It heals you for 40 damage, it doesn't have that big of a cooldown, and you can effectively confirm it if you hit someone with your gold rectangle nail. On that same front, don't use Tea Time if you don't have the distance or ability to use it without getting canceled. If you take any damage while using T-Time, you get nothing. And you have moves in your toolkit that can knock people down from range and basically guarantee yourself the heal. So if you're using T-Time without hitting them with Gold Rectangle first and you're getting canceled, that's your fault. Don't do that. Speaking of Gold Rectangle, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, Wormhole Nails into Gold Rectangle is basically guaranteed. The opponent either blocks or doesn't block your Wormhole Nails. Regardless of what they do, Gold Rectangle is unblockable. So as long as you aim it right, they're getting hit. It gets a little bit trickier the better player they are, but Wormhole Nails have very little end lag. As long as you're quick enough to start the Gold Rectangle nail, you'll get it just about every single time. Finally, the last thing on the docket is stop being afraid of getting close with TA4 and know what moves get canceled and which ones don't. And if you don't know, I'm about to tell you. T-Time, Wormhole Nails, Gold Rectangle Nail, and Fingernail Glide all get canceled if you get hit. So if you're trying to use those in close proximity of the opponent, they won't work. The Beatdown as well, forgot to mention that one. That means that all you have that doesn't get canceled is your Heavy Punch and your Standard Nails. And your Standard Nails from a range, a lot of the time, don't work. So effectively what I'm telling you is when you get close, use your nails, use your M1s, then get out. You don't want to be at close range for longer than you have to. This is a mistake that I make all the time in my own TA4 gameplay. If you're overcommitting while you don't have nails off a cooldown and they start M1ing you and winning the trade, odds are they're doing more damage than you are. Use the nails, get a few bits of damage, get out, throw some of your projectiles that get canceled from a bigger range. There you go. There's your crash course to TA4. If you're gonna use this stand, please stop giving it a bad name, because I think there's a lot of people out there that think TA4 sucks because there's no one good playing it. And so hopefully I can help a few of you that want to use this stand be a little less completely garbage. Please, do us all a favor, use it well. Anyways, that's all I got for today's video. Let me know how many of you guys like using TA4 in the comments, because the amount of TA4s I run into, at least in 1v1s, is basically zero. It's almost never anyone. With that though, if you enjoyed the video, you can leave a like, subscribe. If you didn't, don't do those things. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.